This is beep time!
Who is Randy? Don't bring anyone's mother into this.
Your mama in the fucking stands!
Welcome to your mom's house with Tom Segura, and
Christina Pashitsky.
welcome to your mom's house.
Oh boy, how are you folks? Welcome to another very special episode of Behind the Jeans. 'Tis I, Josh Potter, with you once again, as I am every Wednesday, live, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, if you can't do the math and you live in that time zone. Make sure, if you're watching this on replay, that maybe you'll join up, become a member, and then you can join us for the live show and be here in the chat like so many others are. Oh my goodness, we've got Forrest Nutter. We've got Albert here, Chubby Blunts, Fackin, Bobby Little Boner, all the usuals, and maybe some newbies out there just lurking about behind the scenes, behind the chat. Subliminal is here. Oh my goodness. Welcome one, welcome all to Behind the Jeans. And if you want to stay in touch and perhaps you are not someone who is apt to join us live and you want to stay in the conversation, well, you can always email behindthejeansshow@gmail.com and join the conversation. We've got some Garth news coming up here in a little bit. Hell, we've got lots of news coming up here in a little bit. Oh my goodness, what a monumental news week it's been for the Your Mom's House universe. By the way, I'm going to be live in Southern California, Brea, California, tomorrow night, the 12th of September. I will be there at the Brea Improv. So get your tickets, thejoshpotter.com. It's also where you can go and sign up for my email list. Let me know where you want the roach to scurry into next, please. And thank you. Again, behindthejeansshow@gmail.com is where you can stay in touch with us. Other than that, folks, happy 9/11. Boy, oh boy, I'll never forget that day I bought Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. It's one of those things that just will always stick out to me as something that happened on that faithful day. But when it comes to our Your Mom's House Twin Towers, if you catch what I'm getting at, we've had some news, and I'll just let Miss Lauren Compton make the announcement here, if you haven't already heard.
I'm glad to be here on a second date. And, although you've changed somehow since I was last year, I've noticed something physically going on with you.
Was Dr. Drew tipped off here? Because he's doing his best John Edwards here. He's going like, I'm sensing there's an E in the room. Do we have an E in the room? I can just, in this area. You know, he's kind of pulling his John Edwards, if you will, if you recall that television show. And here, lo and behold, Miss Lauren Compton about to make a big announcement.
I didn't think that there would be 3 of us at this table today.
What?
But
Here,
yes.
Zolo. By the way, I'm here because Zolo dragged my ass out here.
I know!
So thank him for getting me here.
I know. It was like a string of people that were all pushing to get you here.
But you were really pushing poor Zolo, and he was like begging, because there is a third person in this room.
I know, and I can't think of anyone
He was tipped off.
else better to tell than you that I'm pregnant.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was expecting a raucous applause. I mean, the Booth Boys were just, I don't know if they were stunned in the moment or if maybe they already gave their applause off the air, but boy, oh boy, what an announcement. Oh my Lord, my head is spinning. Positively spinning.
Can we get an applause or something from the controller? Thank you.
No one's here to
Said the
see
same
you
thing.
today.
So here we are. We're going to talk all about it, right?
I can't wait.
Can we get an applause? I mean, I thought the same thing there, Dr. Drew. Unbelievable. And maybe the Booth Boys were like, what does this mean for the future of First Date? It had that swirling, and it was almost like they were the father, and they were like, well, what am I going to do about work?
All right, before we talk about your stuff, let me talk about my stuff so I
Yes.
get that all out there. The Wellness Company is a group that I work for that really is getting medication and stuff to patients. I've given up on trying to protect the patient-doctor relationship. I want to get stuff to the
Yada,
patients
yada, yada,
directly.
yada, yada, yada. Here we go.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to hear Dr. Drew's, ventures. We tried to get him on this program, full disclosure. Tried to get him on today to sort of recap this whole thing with us, catch up with Dr. Drew after we had many inquiries that we wanted to pose to Dr. Drew. Some involving farts in a jar, some involving the ills of perhaps not washing your towels. I'm looking at you, little boner. I saw you in the chat talking about the lack of mold on your towels. Well, guess what? It's there. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Nevertheless, Dr. Drew does his live stream at the exact same time that we do this one. So I'm trying to figure out a little bit of a workaround for that. We were thinking, like, do we do a very special episode live at a different time? Do we tape an interview with Dr. Drew? But then, the chat wouldn't be able to get involved. So I'd love to collaborate with you out there. Do let us know, whether it be in the chat today or whether it's over at behindthegeneshow@gmail.com. What could be a solution for this? Dr. Drew, of course, has many streams and shows and things like that. So, it's a difficult thing to try and coordinate with him, as he mentioned there with Zolo, trying to get him out there for this very special episode. So let's hear some of these pregnancy symptoms.
And I think it.
By the way, speaking of pregnancy symptoms, I did see one comment, and I wish I could give credit to this hilarious comment, but it was under the announcement on the Your Mom's House Studios Instagram page, of course, that collaborated with the clip announcing this whole thing, and someone wrote, "Oh my God, they're gonna get bigger." That's like, yes.
Organically create something in men where they if they're not feeling it, there's like something wrong, where they want to protect, they want to help, it just happens automatically. And even though it's organic in us, we still fuck up, we still miss it. We miss, you're experiencing that.
Well,
We want to talk. Want to tell me a story? We miss. We don't think about it all the time the way you do. That you're in this state, and you're in it.
well, he's done a really good job at constantly asking me how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And he always tells me that
That's
I'm
good.
beautiful. He tells me that like probably 5 times a day. And he's like, I love your belly.
Well, he probably means it because there's.
Is there one yet? Do we have a belly? I mean, is he just getting that one out of the way? I mean, is he getting ready for it? I don't know. That's pretty funny. That it's like, well, you like it now? Well, just wait a couple of months there, Pally. You're going to really like it. I'm curious what they're saying in the chat. I was going to look here. Somebody said here, do a crossover episode. Well, Corey Sanchez, that is up to Dr. Drew, of course. I would love to do a crossover episode, but I think he talks a bit more about some serious topics on there, and Dr. Drew knows that when he gets the roach on, it's scallywag time. So I don't know that he wants to what's the word, if you will, sort of denigrate what's happening on his live stream, where he's giving perhaps medical advice to people or talking about something very serious in the political world or what have you. But I will post that. But he obviously wants to very much be a part of the show and come on it at some point. But it's just the scheduling. The man is a very busy one. I'm not exactly as busy. Anywho, folks, we have another clip involving this. I wanted to get to some advice from the great Dr. Drew regarding pregnancy. Of course, Dr. Drew, I don't know. I mean, men can be pregnant. We know this, but I don't know if Dr. Drew's ever experienced it firsthand or not. But we do know men can get pregnant. If there's any men in the chat that have been pregnant, please share your experiences.
Some people.
Is there anything else that you want to ask me before we... Or advice that you want to tell me?
Manpower. That's my advice. Manpower. And be...
Allie's here. Allie.
Don't try to be perfect as a
I
mom.
never do. Thank God.
You don't try to be perfect.
No, I know I'm not.
Okay. Because you seem like you were kind of going that
like
direction.
a perfectionist.
Yeah. Just be careful with that. And then be really cognizant of mood disturbance in that first year.
Huh. Hey, don't be a moody lady, all right? You know your chemicals are going to be getting all out of whack. That's how I'd talk as a doctor. I'd have a cigarette. You're going to get a little moody, you know, because you got that girl gunk in you, and it's going to make your brain all wonky and shit. So try to keep an eye on that, and, don't be perfect. That's my good doctor advice.
Because a lot of people miss the symptoms of postpartum depression.
What are the symptoms?
They can be, it can be obviously sadness and crying, but sleep disturbances, random thoughts of aggression and violence.
This is the voice of not a doctor explaining this. This is a voice of a man who has had children and is a husband.
Even towards the child.
Yeah.
Can be a sign of, postpartum. It's not abnormal.
Yeah.
It happens. Obviously, there could be postpartum psychosis is obvious when that happens. Postpartum depression, trying to distinguish between baby blues, which is pretty common, and actual postpartum depression. I'm pretty
baby blues like the eyes, or baby blues like burning. I got the baby blues.
Liberal with that threshold because it's so disabling and it's so subtle. It comes on perniciously and it just captures you, and you don't really realize what's happening. It just feels like the stress of having a baby is what you're dealing with, which is what you're dealing with.
Yeah,
which is more than you imagine. Because here's the other thing. This is the thing two things. One is your husband's best move is just to follow and listen to and follow your instincts.
God, I'm going to make a great dad. I'm such like a simp. I'd be like, whatever you say, baby, I'll do it. I'm already there, and we don't have a kid. What's happening? And I'm curious to see if any of you are parents in the chat. Do you have any advice for Lauren? Maybe at the early stages. Maybe you have some advice for down the road if your kids are older and you've encountered a bit of a roadblock, something like that. I'd love to hear the mommies give some parenting advice. That would be, yes, here's a good one. Don't drown the babies. That is a good one. And shout out to Queers for Getting Stoned in Gaza. Met Queers for Getting Stoned in Gaza out in Long Island, New York, at perhaps the weirdest show the Roach has ever done, but it was so much fun, and I'm happy he was there. He drove me all the way back to New Jersey. Thank you for the ride, and thank you for being such a mensch. But yes, don't drown the babies. That's a good one. Don't be a bitch, says Snarf. That's another good piece of advice. Interesting indeed. Don't murder the baby. Yeah, that's in so many words. I guess that was the advice there for us, Nutter. And you know what's funny? I watched this show. God, I can't remember the name of it now. It was like Servant or Nanny or something like that, and it was on Apple TV Plus, and it was like an M. Night Shyamalan sort of thing. And M. Night Shyamalan, known for his twists and turns and things like that. The twist gets out of the way pretty early in this one. And what happened, you see, no spoilers. It's really just like the first half of the season, so I'm not spoiling the show for you. But they hire a nanny who comes in to take care of a baby. And it's not a real baby, it's a doll, because you see the mother went through that psychosis that Dr. Drew was talking about and was just like kind of like aloof and left her baby in the car and for days. And they really show it. I mean, they show like you hear the cicadas and the hot sun. I mean, it was a morbid sort of episode of that show when you find out what happened to the baby. And I go, that is insane. Who could do that? I mean, how could you? I barely forget my phone in the car. You know what I mean? I forgot my phone in the car last night, and I thought about it. I go, would I leave a baby in the car? Oh, my Lord. It was something that I had to Google. How often does this happen? Turns out it happens quite often. It's crazy how often that it happens. So that would be my advice. You know, if you get out of the car, just check the back seat. Make sure the baby with you or not in the car. Keep the advice coming, though, in the chat. Por favor. Let's see what else Dr. Drew has to say.
Whatever you say instinctively, he needs to go, I don't know how you know that, but okay.
Yeah.
Because that happened to me a lot. That was like mystical to me.
Your intuition.
Your mom's intuition. Because we don't get it. Like, we're like, when you go, the child's hungry, we're like, how do you know that? Why? It's the way he cried, whatever. I just know he's hungry.
Yeah.
And it's like, I needs a diaper change. Needs a diaper change. Okay.
I would be nervous if I was a woman or a mother. I would start to be nervous. I go, what if I don't have that? What if I go, that means he needs a diaper change, and you look and it's not, and you're like, Huh. Whoopsie. Whoopsie daisy. 3 kids deep over here, says Shay McCarthy. That's interesting. Jorge Clavicles, Mr. Clavicles, he says, ask for permission before changing their diaper. Yes, their diaper, meaning the pronouns it would be THEIR, I'm afraid, Mr. Clavicles. Or is it? That's interesting. Because we're talking about the plural. I don't know. Now I'm getting into the grammar weeds when it comes to plural genders. Let's see what else we have down here in the chat. They be, yes indeed, they be. Question for the no voters. You risk the free pie. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're talking about the poll there. I thought that was about something else. Well, let's hear what else Dr. Drew has to say. He says, "Don't kill the baby." That's the first one. The second one, husband, trust the mother, of course, or father, trust the mother. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The answer is okay. On it. So follow behind and go ahead with it. And oh damn, what was the other thing? I was going to say along those same lines about the rigors of raising
Don't leave it in the car.
a baby.
The intuition. There's postpartum.
It'll come back to you. The aging brain now. Things come back to you after 3 minutes. Watch, and then do pay attention to your relationship.
Yeah.
You kind of go in survival mode for about a year, and everything is about the baby. And if it, needs to be all about the baby, the guys will be okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll be fine. But just remind him if he gets whiny about what the priority is right now. We're getting the baby.
I like that. That's good advice, Dr. Drew. What he's saying for the layman out there, if perhaps you don't speak doctor talk. Sometimes these doctors come in and they float their fancy words out there. What he's saying, ladies, is suck your husband's penis still. You gotta suck the father. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to the relationship. You gotta suck the penis. I mean, I know you're breastfeeding. Oh boy, the baby. It's so overwhelming. I'm hardly sleeping. Slip in a dick suck once in a while. I think if I can translate for the layman, I believe that's what he's getting at here.
That's so
He's
true.
giving her 2 prescriptions of sucking beans.
Though I think it's still very important to,
Because you go through some immense hormonal shifts after pregnancy, and you might be just shut down for a while. And that is God's way of, especially when you're breastfeeding, of making sure you don't have one baby on top of the other.
yeah.
Right? And so and he's got to just go, okay, I got it. I'm supportive.
Right.
Love that advice, Dr. Drew. And we have some here in the chat here. Shay McCarthy says, talk shit to your kids so they don't know what bullying is. Interesting. So you get the bullying out of the way with the parents, then they go to school and they go, this is nothing. You should see my parents, the way they talk to me. Interesting. Okay, I don't have any doctor here to say that's not good advice. Oh, you have a different sort of conclusion from the good doctor's words for us, Nutter. He writes, I think he's saying, tell the man that you love him and give him a free pass. Oh, that's a good one too, Forrest Nutter. Interesting. I didn't translate it that way. I wish we had a professional on to tell us one way or another, but that could be it as well. Hey, I'm a little busy with the baby. Go fuck some fucking bar trollop out there, please. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Let's keep it going for a little while longer while I get the next clip ready.
He's that family-oriented. He'll get that.
Yeah. He's very understanding. I couldn't be in a better relationship to have a kid. I was married for a long, long time.
Long time?
I mean, I was with him for 7 years. To me, that's a really long time.
Yeah.
And there was never even one day that I considered having a kid with him.
Interesting.
And I've been with other guys, and I never considered having a child with them. But this one,
That's what you call a tell.
Yeah, I was like, man, you are daddy vibes.
That's what we call a green flag here on First Date, folks. Green flags up and down, left and right. We're so excited. Congratulations, Lauren. We can't wait to have a little YMH baby. Maybe Lauren would be open to allowing the chat to name the baby once he, she, they is born. That would be fun. We'll come up with some of those. Think about that for future weeks. We've got some months to go. But speaking of mommy milkers, oh boy, Greg Fitzsimmons, who by the way has a new special out there on YouTube, you should go check it out. And he's going to be a forthcoming guest for my podcast, The Josh Potter Show. He's coming up in October, and we're filming out of the Comedy Store now. It comes out every Wednesday at 6 a.m. on my YouTube channel. If you would like to go check it out, I'd love for you to go revisit it if you've left us many moons ago. But come on back, it's getting good, baby. Oh boy, I'm so excited about it. But yes, Greg Fitzsimmons, he was on oh boy, was it Your Mom's House? I do believe he has a
son was born, and I've told this story before, so stop me if you've heard it. But when my son was born, my mother-in-law came out and she said, "All right, it's been 6 months. You guys go off and get a hotel room." We lived in Venice. We got one in Marina del Rey at the Ritz-Carlton because we don't want to waste time driving. We just want to sleep and have some sex. Because I don't think we'd had it like in 6 months. And so we go off, and she was breastfeeding at the time. And so we got to the hotel room, and we had sex, and then we took a walk on the beach, had dinner, got back to the room, and we're like, should we have sex again? I was like, yeah, let's just do it in the morning. Hey, let's just get a long sleep. We'll have like a brunch. We'll have sex. 2 a.m., I get woken up to her crying, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I go, what do you miss the kid? What's going on? She's like, no, my breasts are engorged. I need to breast. And she goes, I didn't bring a pump. I forgot the pump. I was like, what do you mean you forgot the pump? She goes, no, we got to go home. I need to feed or pump. I'm like, we got this hotel room for 9 more hours. We're going to.
Oh, what a savage. I love it. You're right, Queers for Getting Stoned. And guys, like Greg is a savage. Oh my God. He's like, call me pump, baby. And I'll be an oiled Derek.
We're going to eat. We were going to have sex. I go, we can't. She's like, you don't understand. I'm dying right now. I have to be relieved. I go, pop them out.
Pop them out.
So she pops out a breast, and I put my mouth on it, and I start just sucking, and she's like, no, asshole. And she's like adjusting my jaw and pushing up the bottom of it and instructing me. And she's a lactation consultant, which is the irony of all this.
Oh, my God.
Wow, so she's a lactation consultant. She knows exactly the way the jaw has to be positioned in order to provide a manual pump. And I emphasis on the man part of manual in this regard. Oh my Lord, I wonder what that is. You have to have, it's like playing clarinet. You have to have a certain embouchure in order to extract the breast milk from a breast. I thought you could just go in there willy-nilly, start sucking like you'd suck anything else. And lo and behold, it's not the case. I feel educated. And they should have, lactation experts should have a course on this for people like Miss Lauren Compton, who are going to be going to these types of people. They should have an instructional course on how a gentleman could manually pump if need be, like the olden days.
God.
So she's showing me how to do it. And then I couldn't get it. And then all of a sudden, just this stream, this hard, hot stream of like sweet. It was like a chai latte going in the back of my throat. And so I unlatched and I spit it out. And then I'd start all over again to get the suction. She's like, no, you can't.
God, you think it's like when you're trying to siphon gas out of a car? You're like, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to get it pumped up. Or is it like when your vape's a little clogged and you got to get that, it's like a milkshake. You're trying to get he's got veins coming out of his fucking ear, forehead and shit. Crazy steam's coming out of his ears.
Spit it out. So I start swallowing it. And I suck and I swallow and I suck and I swallow and I'm starting to kind of get into it. And I get to the second tit and I'm getting.
Queers for Getting Stoned in Gaza. I do believe it is a Pornhub category. I'm not speaking from experience. It's not something I would search out, but I've come across some extraordinarily niche categories in the hub. And I do believe that breastfeeding would be a part of that. I just checked it is, says fucking Bobby. There we go. We have verification in the chat, folks. Verification in the chat. Snarf says titty milk is sweet tasting. Well, I have not yet been able to taste such a thing. That would be a fun experience. You know what I mean? Like an experience that, I'm not against paying for. But that is, I mean, it wouldn't even be like a sexual experience. It'd be like a very rare custard, frozen custard stand or something like that, where you get to go and make your own. This one, you get to go in. We've got a row of engorged women, if you'd like. You can be right up next and take number 3. Or if you're looking for a particular lady, well, then you might have to wait a little extra. We have to pencil you in, schedule. It's like hairstylists. You're like, I don't know. I mean, Deborah really screwed my hair up last time. I think I'll wait for Stacy. When is she open next? That kind of thing. Make some ice cream, says Chubby Blunts. Indeed. It might, tit milk might make Josh come. I don't know if that would be the case, but I would. Oh, I'm always open to figuring that out or trying. Fucking Bobby, what the heck? These guys that inject milk into their boobs just so they can suck it out. I knew I shouldn't have Googled this. Wait, what? There's guys? Oh my God. I got to put that one back up for a second. He says there's guys that inject milk into their boobs just so they can suck it out. I mean, that has to be a pricey procedure, I would imagine. That's not just something that you can go down to the local 7-Eleven and scoop up breast milk injectors. I mean, that's not something they got at Rite Aid, I don't imagine. Where do you go to get that done? And how much does that cost? That's insane. We didn't have to know that, says Albert. That's fucking word. Wait, I don't know. This one is the one I meant to click. Albert, we didn't have to know that. Sometimes my blind eyes blur your chats. Juan Martinez, welcome to the chat, my friend. I want to know more about the diarrhea. Was it like baby caca? What diarrhea? What diarrhea is he talking about? Mine? Did I have diarrhea? I'm confused, but please elaborate further later. I did want to raise that because I was confused by it. Keep playing the video. Oh, okay. Well, let's see.
Getting pretty into it. And then I start, and I got my arms around her. I start kind of rubbing against her. Uh-huh. And then slowly we begin making love. And by the end of it, like, we're both orgasming. I got milk dripping down my chin. I was like an animal. I was like, yeah! And then we fell asleep in a
what a primal orgasm. I'll keep it going.
In several wet spots. There was several wet spots in the bed. And then came home the next day, and she was that my son comes up and he's like pulling on her shirt to breastfeed. I'm like, a little late, asshole. and then the joke was on me because like adults are not meant to swallow that. And I had diarrhea for like 3 days after that. Sweet smelling diarrhea.
So you drank a lot of milk.
Drank probably a few ounces.
Wow.
Damn. Well, that's it, right? I mean, I don't know if it counts as dairy necessarily, but I think it is. If anyone even drinks 3 ounces of just like some 2%, they're going to have a little bit of diarrhea. I'd imagine this is extra rich, but I'm not a doctor. And I'm sorry, Juan Martinez. I didn't think you were already talking about the forthcoming. I thought you were talking about you never know when diarrhea could be brought up on this program, frankly. And I thought you were talking about something maybe we discussed already. I didn't know you were going into the future. Sorry for not understanding the context. Spacehead, you motherfucker. I didn't do my homework. Can my brain be operating on a different area than you at the moment? Jesus, give me a fucking break, pal. Cut your boy some slack. It's okay. I'm not blaming you, Juan Martinez. I'm not blaming you one bit. Not one bit. I'm a chef, says Corey Sanchez. He says, I'm a chef. I got you. 8 ounces is a cup. Okay, well, thank you for the math. I'm a chef. That's how you did it. I mean, even if you were like, I am an astronaut, I would have been okay with that.
Oh
yeah.
Wow, it tastes pretty good.
It tastes. You ever tasted it?
I mean,
I'm shocked.
A dab.
Yeah.
Not like
I'm shocked.
Tom's like, I've tasted it accidentally, like most men probably. I was not drinking glasses of it. 3 ounces? That's nuts.
Yeah, just a little. I didn't have any like mouthfuls of it.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Greg was talking about getting waterboarded by breast milk, for Christ's sake. I mean, and coming at the same time. It's like, instead of choke me, he's like, drown me.
Well, It's funny when you're in college, like you guzzle beer.
Yeah.
And then you have a kid, and like that's the new party.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That sounds like that was a very necessary trip for you guys too at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, we needed it.
Yeah.
Did you ever do those?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just didn't go far. Just grab a hotel.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, you really do go, we're going to have this whole thing. And then you're like, we just slept 11 hours.
Yeah.
And I think we should just go back.
Yeah. Right. right. I know.
Like you have your plans of like, well, this is good. And then you're just like, you're so sleep deprived
Yeah.
that you're just catching up on this big sleep deficit.
Yeah, because sex, you realize like once you have your kids, your body kind of goes like, your dick's like, what do you bother me again for? I did it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing right there. Once you have kids, your dick goes, well, we did what we came here to do. No pun intended. But I mean, is that why when you become like middle age, your dick just gets sleepy? He's like, we didn't make a kid, dude. This is over. My time is up. He's like a washed up actor. He's like, my window closed, pal. I don't know what to do. You ever experienced that with your penis, folks? I'm trying to get this. I'm not opening too many tabs so we don't have any choppiness. I'm sorry if there is choppiness here. Somehow my father's internet, which is not like doesn't pay as much as I pay for internet. I'll tell you that right now. Somehow his was crispy clean and mine. I come back here again to the Roach Motel. I'm in here in the old your mom's house satellite studio and still getting reports of choppiness. Unbelievable. I think the Lord hates me. Well, interestingly enough, talking about children, this was a coincidental sort of instance that occurred on Two Bears, One Cave, and the two bears back together again here for this episode. And Tom talks about a little bit of a dream his son had. I found it very interesting. Here we go.
My 6-year-old woke up the other day, ear to ear. He goes, I had the best dream. Daddy.
Sorry, I fucked
You want
it
them to
up.
come to the bottle finding?
I was trying to make it big for you, and I blew it.
Dude, my 6-year-old woke up the other day, ear to ear. He goes, I had the best dream. Daddy. And I go, what'd you dream about? He goes, Zachary, Lisa, and Marlon. And I go, who's that? He's like, they're in my class. I go, oh, what happened in your dream? He goes, I cut off their heads with a chainsaw.
Golly.
And I go, what? He goes, yeah, I had a chainsaw and I just cut their heads off. I go,
You don't share those stories.
I know. I'm like, holy shit. I go, how did that make you feel? And he goes, happy. He goes, it made me feel happy. I go, to cut their heads off? He goes, yeah. I love it. I love chainsaws. And I go, okay. You want pancakes? What do you want to eat right now? So he thinks about death too.
Oh, God. He thinks about it the other way. I think about it the other one way.
So wait,
That's wild. I mean, I don't know if I heard one of my nieces or nephews say something to that degree, I would be like, I think you got to put them in a home or something. I don't know. That's one of those things you hear about on a Dateline. You know what I mean? Where you go, he was a quiet kid, had very vivid dreams, scary, vivid dreams. So there's poor Lauren Compton watching this, being like, oh, what could come out of me? That's concerning, says Queens for getting stoned in Gaza, and he thinks it's concerning. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I love Bert's laugh, says Mary Lazard. That's very nice. Some people don't. Corey Sanchez, for one. Tom always brings out the baby seal. Yeah, he gets the guy laughing, fucking Bobby. That's for sure. That is for sure indeed. I thought weed was illegal in the Mid-East. It could be. I don't know what that is in a reference to, but I think it is as well. Speaking of traveling, maybe that's why you're just wanting to bring up traveling. Shane Gillis, very funny, obviously. Exciting that he was on You Be Trippin'.
I was selling cars. I got out of college. I was selling cars. I used to be a gay man.
I thought you were gonna say I was selling coke.
I used to read books constantly.
Yeah.
And I got really, really into Ernest Hemingway. And I was like, I should live in Spain.
Really?
And,
To
yeah.
go-
Hilarious. I was really gay and I started reading. That's so funny. Spacehead says, I thought we'd... Oh, I already got that one. Sorry, my bad. I forgot to take it down. Oh, my God. Sorry, I was coughing myself. I was choking from my own laughter over here. Okay. Hemming's gay. That's a good one for us, Nutter. Oh boy, I get a little gay once in a while. Read some books. Been reading Bukowski and getting drunk and writing flowery text messages to women. Anywho, that's just me. Let's keep it going.
Go in his footsteps?
Kind of, yeah. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like 23.
Here's the problem. It does rule,
Yeah,
but it is
24,
also
yeah.
gay.
It was gay.
Yeah.
I wish I still had that part of me.
The
That
gay
you just
part.
suck up the gay and go.
Yeah, just like I used to think I was like smart.
Yeah.
I wish I still had that.
What's your favorite Hemingway?
It For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah.
Was
For
number
whom
one.
the
I like
bell
the Nick Adams stories.
tolls. Love
I don't
that
know.
song.
It's just short stories about him, pretty much himself.
Oh, okay. I just tried to read Farewell to Arms again.
How was it?
Trash.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's good until it's too much of a love story. I like the beginning when he's in the military. It's very fun.
What's the one where he's holding a baby up in a cave and somebody takes a random shot and kills the baby? It's a crime, but they thought it was an animal, and somebody like camping was like, "Shut that fucking baby!"
I don't know.
And then,
He has a lot of like Michigan short stories.
Yeah.
I don't know any of those.
Yeah. You're nicely shaded here in the fucking.
Yeah. Oh man, you guys hate the shade. I love a well lit podcast studio. It's very conducive to.
This isn't that well lit.
This is not, because we turned the spotlight off. That was
Yeah, they did have a
directly
spot.
This is not. Oh boy. Dimly lit. I like a dim light. This is too bright for me even. You get to see all the roaches. Terrible eyes, and I have to have people be like, "Oh, look at his Coke bottle glasses. What is wrong with his eyes?" It's like, oh my God, every week we gotta do this. Every fucking week. Oh boy. Spacehead says, I'm more of a Cormac McCarthy fan. Interesting. So writers don't read? Some don't. I don't believe. I did not picture Shane reading some gay shit like Hemingway. Interesting. I don't know. Is Hemingway, I mean, he was a big booze hound. Sure, he wrote some flowery things, but pretty big booze hound. I thought they were going to get more into Hemingway's stuff here. But you know what? I want to get to something else here. Because we're getting late in the program, and this was brought to my attention. It was about old Garth Brooks. We all know him. We all are suspicious of him. But Garth Brooks, evidently Cougar says he played professional baseball. I don't even know if I could pull this up, but maybe Cougar had to step away for a second, but maybe he can pull it up when he comes back. If I cannot, let us see. Oh, look, I can do it. Perfect. Where's the sound? Can we get a sound? Aha.
Country singer made him do it. At first, he batted like this. It was normal, and he won a World Series, but was essentially a league average hitter. But when he was 28, he got traded to the Dodgers and had the worst season of his career. He was the 4th worst hitter in baseball in 1999, and followed it up the next season by starting spring training going 0 for 44. All of a sudden, his career was in jeopardy. According to him, he then smacked a ball into the outfield for his first hit, put his head down, ran to first, felt a massive weight off his shoulders when he heard the crowd go crazy. Apparently, Garth Brooks, a superstar country singer, made a diving catch, robbing him of a hit. Yes,
What?
Garth Brooks was playing for the Mets. He's played for 3 different MLB teams during spring trainings. He is a massive baseball fan and, in part to raise money for charity, convinced teams to let him play in actual games, take actual at-bats, and be treated like a real player.
God,
Garth
that's
Brooks
rich.
went 1 for 22 in his MLB career, meaning at this time he was a more productive hitter than Craig Counsell. The day after Brooks robbed Counsell of his first hit, Counsell was cut from the team. He knew his
God
career
damn.
was likely over. Desperate, he started messing with his stance, got picked up by Arizona, and started batting like this. The next season, he started standing up even straighter and helped the D-backs win a World Series. The next season, his stance got even stranger. Then, by 2004, when he went to the Brewers, he went even further with his stance and had one of the strangest of all times. Counsell resurrected his career batting like this and went on to play 16 seasons, all because of Garth Brooks.
Well, I mean, this is a wild story. I mean, I cannot believe Garth Brooks just pays enough money to go be like, I'm going to be on a Major League Baseball roster and play in a game. I gave you. I mean, how much money could he have given him? Is he paying like Bobby Bonilla Day for what? I mean, like, this is crazy to me. This is crazy. I've thought for 1 second, there was a moment before I found out he resurrected his career, Greg Counsell, that I thought for a moment, maybe we have to open these cases up. You know, maybe Garth isn't murdering these people. Maybe Garth isn't hiding the bodies. Maybe Greg Counsell's trying to frame Garth Brooks. But then, you know, there's the happy ending. He makes this stupid, strange batting stances and changes his life. And he wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for Garth Brooks. I got friends in low places. I'm going to pay $3 million to the Padres and play an at-bat. That's crazy. Crazy. Unbelievable. He's just out there playing in the outfield. That was nuts. Dude, what if we find out Garth Brooks is also a deputy sheriff like Steven Seagal? I don't doubt it at this point. I mean, the man can do just about anything, it seems. But that is the true sign of a psychopath at the end of the day. Oh, Cougar says Bobby Bonilla Day is also his birthday. Well, we'll have to have our own Bobby Bonilla Day when that goes down. He's got friends 6 feet under. Well, that could be true. Maybe the friends he has in low places are the bodies under the ground. You guys both hit that one at the same time, fucking Bobby and Albert. Hilarious. That's a crazy thing right there, Garth Brooks. Unbelievable. I didn't know that was even possible. And how many celebrities are doing that? Why haven't I heard more about that? That there's celebrities out there that are just like taking it. I mean, why? Hey, maybe should we got to get Tom to pay for me to play in a Major League Baseball game. I mean, how much money could it be? And I think it would be worth the LOLs. Have me take some at-bats, trying to, my one eye trying to swing at a 87-mile-an-hour curveball. Oh, that would be LOLs up and down. Put me out in the outfield, try to catch a pop fly whizzing at my fucking head. That would be wild. Let's find out how much it costs. Get Tom Segura on it, It's probably no more than, I don't know. I mean, how much could it be at the end of the day? Let us keep things moving. Ooh, I love this question. And maybe out there, one of you have taken part in something like this. I was always curious. I have, for the record, by the way. My sister, I didn't even pose the question to you yet, but have you hooked up with one of your siblings' friends? A sister's friends, perhaps, if you're a man. Maybe if you're a woman, a brother's friend. Maybe if you're a lesbian woman, a sister's friend. Maybe if you're a gay man, a brother's friend. Let's not forget about their friends or whatever the hell you want to do. If you're a they and their friends, your siblings are just gender fluid, whatever. Whatever the case may be, did you do it? Like I said, I have. My sister's certainly been with some of mine. Let's hear the story brought up with the great Greg Fitzsimmons on Your Mom's House.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like in high school, but in college.
How'd that go with your sister?
They both. Oh, I slept with best friends of both of my sisters.
Oh,
and they had different reactions.
Really?
Yeah. My older sister was like, "That's awesome. What was she like?" And I was like, "Huh?" And she was like, "Was she good?" And I'm like, "This is so strange." And then my younger sister was like, "Stop fucking my friends."
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Like my younger sister was like, "Would you like it if I fucked your friends?" And I was like, "I don't know." But yeah, she was more upset. And then my older.
Mine was more, oh, my sister is fucking my friends. I guess I'll go get one of hers. You know, I don't know. That was kind of I was second in line.
Sister was like, "That's cool. Are you going to see her again?" I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. Yeah. It was very different reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, this is a cool thing that like my sisters are bringing talent home.
Yeah, I had a younger sister, but we had to get much older before I could have sex with her friends because she was she's 17 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Golly.
So what, last
Golly. Real quick, I wanted to just say, I wonder. This was an episode that I very much watched and wanted Christina to be there. A, for the breast milk conversation, and B, for this conversation when Tom's like, oh, yeah, they're bringing talent home. I wanted to see her face, kind of. I think she would have had something to add, too. But she was an only child, so I don't know that she knows the quandaries that come with that sort of predicament. But Greg Fitzsimmons, a real gap in age. Let's find things out.
last year. That's awesome.
Oh God, no, it's been a long time, man.
But you did wait. You did hook up with a sister's friend?
Oh yeah.
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 How did she? Did she know? Did she learn of it?
We never talked of it. She slept with my friends, and I slept with her friends, and we never talked.
Oh,
of it.
there you
guys
go.
never-
Because
okay.
we're Irish. Irish people don't talk about sex.
Right.
You know, you're Mexican, so like
That's true.
You just talk freely.
It's, yeah.
Eat beans and
And just it just comes out.
dance, and you dance after you talk about it, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
And there's a mariachi playing.
Wow.
It's perfect.
What a culture.
I think it was when I got to the second round of their friends that my younger sister was like, "This is disgusting. You need to stop." Yeah.
It's a
Amazing. I haven't had the stop conversation. I had to tell her to stop. Yeah, tell her you got this, mama. No, for sure. I have to retext her, you got this, mama, again to make sure that she realizes this is it. Wait, what? Oh man, I watched Greg Fitzsimmons' special after the pod, and he has quite the disdain for baseball. Well, that's an interesting correlation to our Garth Brooks news there, for sure. Fun charity idea. Yes, talking about me perhaps joining the baseball. I can see Garth becoming governor of Oklahoma in the future. I could definitely see that happening. I could see that for sure happening. At the very least, he's going to be such a booster for the Sooners football team that they'll name the stadium like Garth Brooks Stadium, and then they'll start getting everybody to sing, and the thunder rolls. Bam, bam. That would be a hell of an atmosphere at a college football game, for sure. No, but yes, with a girlfriend sister. That's even kind of wilder, Mr. Clavicles. He wasn't hooking up with a sister's friend. He hooked up with his girlfriend's sister. That's something. That's kind of like a little bit of a, feather in your cap there at the end of the day. Oh, the Martinez sisters? Yeah, both. That's what I feel like. That's like a guy that would go around wearing his Letterman jacket still when he's 30 would brag about. But hey, I would be doing it as well. Yeah, that's a fun story there. Let's finish it off real quick before we get to my next thing, because you see, Rob Iler was banned from Hinge. What for, do you ask? Was it for having moldy towels? We'll find out.
That's Jewel.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, but here's the key. This is what I found in college: is become friends with the cool girl. Mm-hmm. And then you satellite off of her. To
so
the
her,
friends.
you have a platonic relationship with.
Yeah, you have a Harry Met Sally kind of thing happening.
Yeah.
She respects you, and then all the other girls see you as having the ability to form a friendship with a woman, and then you exploit them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
God, Greg Fitzsimmons is a genius. I mean, that has been my strategy my entire life. Look at Christina. Her mouth is agape. She can't believe what wise words just came from Greg Fitzsimmons' mouth. See, this is why I don't understand why incels even exist. It's not hard to get laid. It's hard to get a woman to spend the rest of her life with you. Getting laid is easy. I mean, they wake up the next day, they go, peace out, loser, or whatever, and then that's the end of that. That stuff's not hard. I found I was trying to chase that my whole life, not build a relationship. Turns out there's so much more pitfalls and things like that to try and do that part.
That's a really good. If you're young and you're listening, if you're in college, this is exactly what you should do.
And also do well, because they're all going to chat. So oral, be tireless.
Yeah. Just do your.
This is great advice. This is sage words coming from on high.
Stretches.
Yep.
First. Yeah.
Yep. Put some ice cubes on your tongue.
Yeah.
Before you get down there.
Really, they are going to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was before there was chat rooms on the internet. There was like, dorm rooms where they went, Tom will go down. Yeah.
That guy eats a lot of everything. Yeah. Yeah.
He gets full by the end of it. Yeah. But that was like cocaine sex in college, where you just like oral would just go on. It was like crazy. It was like,
That's right. Another good reason to learn the oral skills is the cocaine sex. I mean, this man he's a fountain of knowledge.
Porn.
Yeah. So long.
And now when you're married, it's like, what?
No.
What do you want?
For how long? I know. It's like, don't fart. Come on. It's just gross.
Yeah, it's like, unless we're both showering, like that's not happening anymore.
Right? Eating ass.
Eating ass. Yeah. Or even just asking her for a blowjob. It just seems like this is the woman that's like, we're having dinner together and we're hanging out, and all of a sudden I got to put my dick in her mouth. Like that feels wrong. I can't even ask. I mean, it happens once in a while, but it's never on request.
And that's true love, folks. If you're no longer, and this is going full circle, this is going back to what Dr. Drew said to Miss Lauren Compton. It's going full circle here. Yes, blow your husbands, but don't make them ask. That's true love. If they don't want to ask you to suck their penis any longer, it's because they respect you too much and they'll never ask. But do they want it? Yes. Does it create yearning in some capacity when you go a great deal of time not having that? Of course. Volunteer it. Once in a while, a celebration. We're not saying do it on taco night. Just somewhere down the road, throw that one out there. And we should do the same. Got to keep the communication open. Why am I not a sex doctor, huh? Golly, but sage words, wise words from Greg Fitzsimmons. Go watch the episode in its entirety, and I'm sure you will find more and more and more. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so pardon me, I'm just going through the chat to see what y'all are talking about. Some speculation about why on earth could Rob Iler have been banned from Hinge? Was it his moldy towels? Was it some other reason? Well, let's find out here on Behind the Jeans.
Here's something else that I think you always tell me you wish when I'm dating somebody that I was a more hopeless romantic, right?
Do I say that?
Yeah, because you're too logical. I wish you would just give into love.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
right? You say that
for some time, yeah.
For some
for
time.
like the newlywed phase. Yeah, there's
Right.
rational thinking for later.
Right, I don't. And I was watching 90 Day Fiance, where I get my worldly news. I learn a lot about the world watching 90 Day Fiance.
Ooh, we have an accusation in the chat. RJ, I bet he goes swimming. That's what you think the banning was over. I don't know. Can you get banned for ghosting women? I think that's your prerogative as a human being to be like, well, I met this stranger on the internet, didn't enjoy it. I kind of want to not have this person be up my ass ever again, in a figurative sense, of course, let alone a literal sense. So therefore, I'm going to just cut them out of my life. I don't know if that's is ghosting an illegal Hinge tactic. I'm not on Hinge. I don't do the apps because look at me. And could you imagine just me being not in context? I'm not doing that to myself. No, thank you. But Rob on the Hinge got banned. Let's get into it.
and this one's in China, this couple, and she says to the guy, the American guy, she goes, you think about love like my sister, and people here in China think it's stupid. Basically, so I'm summing it up, but like think it's stupid. Like you guys are like hopeless romantics, and here in China we find that stupid.
What do they think of? Like you
It's
love to
logical.
procreate, family.
No, I just think logical. Like he quit his job to move to China to be with her. They have no money. Star sign filter because I don't want to date those people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to date a woman who's
just put it in your profile.
Who's going no Leos like you just did, because that to me is worse than any. It's insane.
Word.
If someone's like, no, I won't date a guy because he was born in October, she's nuts. I don't want her popping up on my feed.
Agree.
Agree. I can't believe we didn't bring this up, James.
Here we go. The story. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I do agree with him, by the way, about the Leo thing or whatever the hell it is. Oh boy, I can't date a Sagittarius or whatever the hell. It's like that person is a dodo. That's all it is. It's not that they're insane or anything else. They're just a simple-minded loon.
This is such a big deal.
What?
I can't believe we didn't bring this up.
What?
So I've been on. Should I just say the dating app? I guess I'll just say it. I've been on a dating app called Hinge for.
Would you like the best out of all of them?
I think it's the best because I think it's people who. It's called the dating app designed to be deleted, right? So it's like we want to actually get you in a relationship. Like where Tinder is just a fuck.
And they do this, by the way, because I was on it for 2 weeks. They do this, by the way, by giving you prompts where you're filling out these surveys about yourself that are so inane, and people are such tryhards with these things. And I just get cringe vibes reading some like little piffy thing that's in there. I can't even possibly imagine what I would write for myself that I could present to somebody and be like, yes, this is, and I write for a living. But the whole point of my comedy and my art is that I shit on myself. I can't possibly write some prompt that would make some smoke show go, who's this? Yeah, sure, he doesn't look like much, but boy, oh boy, look at these prompts. Get fucked. I'm never doing that. And I deleted that thing right away, and I'd rather just masturbate for the rest of my lonely life than ever subject myself to prompts and having to do boosts so that some maybe attractive woman or even one worthwhile who isn't just saying nonsense in word form in these little survey questions. It's just such a cesspool, a money-grubbing cesspool, and Rob should be thankful that he got kicked off of it, frankly. Here we go.
And a lot of these other dating apps are just a fuck.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I'm on Hinge.
Yes.
I have been on Hinge for years, and I've never received an email from Hinge. Never received an email from Hinge. As you know, I went to, I had a house with my family for a week in Jersey.
Yeah.
We're on the beach. Robbie's having a great time. All of a sudden, I get an email from Hinge, because I wasn't checking my text messages for like 5 days. I don't know. I got an email from Hinge, and it says, you've been banned from Hinge.
Gasp!
I get banned from a dating app. And I go, how is this possible? I haven't met anyone off of Hinge in months. And even if I do, I don't even like.
What did I do?
Yeah, I'm not some guy who's like, maybe I sent a drunk text. I don't drink. I don't know. I'm like, how could you possibly ban me?
I could have done that part. Whoops.
From Hinge. So it also doesn't tell you what you did wrong, which is insane. It should, the first.
It's like when I got banned from Facebook.
Yes. The first thing should tell you what you did wrong. Hey, here's why you're banned.
Right.
It doesn't. It just says you're banned. And it says, if you want to, what is
protest or
dispute?
Dispute. But I think there's even like a better, like a lawyer. What's the lawyer term? If you want to appeal, that's what they use. Sorry, yours was great too, Zolo, but it was appeal. This episode is sponsored by DraftKings.
No. I'm not logged into my premium
spent
account.
$17.
Even if I never go back on the fucking app.
Go use the promo codes. Go use them. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to subject the non-pores to commercials. I just didn't log into my YouTube here.
I gotta know what's going on. So I asked what's going on. They go, you've been impersonating a celebrity.
Oh my God.
Hinge. I'm barely a celebrity, but it's me.
Hilarious. That Hinge can't fathom that an actual human being who's I mean, I guess there is that like Raya app, which I've been rejected from 3 times. I wanted to get on there because it's like holy hell, look at who the hell this, you know what I mean? You have to, and I guess you have to have a certain amount of social media followers or just be a certain level of smoke show to be on it, because certainly I meet neither of the requirements, but I know some people who have like 8,000 followers, but they're on there because they are something. Do you know what I'm saying? So I applied for Hinge. I got 3, you have to get recommended by somebody already on there. One was a gentleman who used to be a Vine comedian by the name of Rydoon. Yeah, I didn't think that one was going to get me very far, but then Nikki Glazer recommended me. And then a lady in the adult industry recommended me. Still nothing on the Raya. Not that I would have gone on there and made any hay, you understand? I would have gone on there, they would have been like, who the hell let this guy on there? He's not rich nor good looking. Oh, because he's in show business on the fringes of it? That's how he got it, so I understand at the end of the day. But boy, oh boy, Hinge is nonsense. And it's crazy. Again, the people would probably try to catfish being a celebrity. But if you're going through the rigmarole, if you will, of trying to create a catfish account on a dating app, I think you would just use anonymous hot people pictures at this point. No one's going like, I'm going to pretend I'm a celebrity, think that it's not going to raise flags. That's awfully silly.
But here's what's crazy.
How do you prove it?
For 2 years, never a peep. You go to Jersey, guess
and
what?
You got hit up so much?
We're like the Beatles in Jersey still. Everywhere else, people don't give a shit about us. We go to Jersey and they're like, there's no way the guy who played the son on Sopranos is in Jersey. This must be an impersonator.
So somebody reported you.
No, it can't just be one report. You have to get multiple reports.
Wild. And meanwhile, the irony of it is, like he said, he's like a god in Jersey. He's probably like, my Hinge was probably blowing up, and they're like, there's no way there's this much action on here. And they were like, this is a false thing, you know. And that's what raised its ire. I mean, down in like a different part of the world, is Rob not matching enough for them to go, is this guy pretending to be Rob Iler? Then he goes to Jersey, and it's like women are proverbially throwing their panties at him via Hinge. Golly, that's just a cruel, cruel instance, Rob. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Oh, boy, oh, boy. I had a thing to end on. Oh, yes, here it is. A great thing to end on here. One of my favorite compilations that's been created. It's very new. We'll end with some burps, shall we? Let's see what's going on in the chat. Speaking of burps, oh my lord, we have super chats happening. Holy hell. Don't Trip says in the super chat, for Potter to get the ad-free videos. I have them. I just have not logged in, and I apologize. I'm not logged in right now. Oh, Snarf, for the month after, thank you. I do appreciate the super chats, and they will go towards my YouTube premium account. Oh boy, oh boy. Thank you everyone for being here. Spacehead, RJ, Little Boner. Oh, Lauren had the same issue on Raya, I believe. Kept getting banned for impersonating Lauren Compton on Raya, of all places. Boy, oh boy. I mean, what a world that is. I would love very much to experience that. I wish I could put my brain into another vehicle, if you catch my drift, and then I would get to know what it's like to be on hot people internet. Oh my God, what a world that would be. But yes, I want to end with a compilation of burps. I appreciate you all being here. Do hope you join us once again next Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Your Mom's House YouTube channel. And if you're watching this for free, come on, join us. Be a part of the fun. Al Burp's here. Corey Sanchez. I mean, so many. Come on over, be a part of it, and let us leave with some burps. Oh boy, I almost blew it. Here we go.
Good for you, kid. Live your life. I heard it. Don't worry. Sometimes when you burp and I don't react right away, you kind of look at me.
Yeah.
Like the way Fief does. Like, are you gonna acknowledge what I did?
Yeah, I do.
Mommy?
Because I want you to acknowledge me.
Oh my God. Anyways.
God, that felt good.
You guys are fucking sick. You look just like him.
All right.
You're under the weather today. You're sick. Otherwise,
yeah.
I'd make you come.
They sold millions and millions of records.
Yeah. not that expensive either.
Yeah.
What?
You're back.
I'm
Wow,
back.
Nice belch to get us back.
You got it.
Yeah.
I'm good on this guy.
I tried not giving a fuck with your family yesterday, and I was penalized and peer pressured.
Nobody is deciding to do that. It's just how it is.
No, we're assholes. All night. She would do that.
Yeah. See, it happens.
So many sounds, but the horking is
I make
really
those sounds.
sexy.
Chicks get wet. It's just how it goes.
I've never felt that way before.
Look, there's other stuff we didn't get to, but I think we got to wrap up the show, man.
Yeah.
There's too much.
Okay.
This is
100%.
Don't bring anyone's mother into this. Your mama in the fucking
Listen.
stands.
Welcome to your mom's house with Tom Segura. And
Christina Pashitsky.
welcome to your mom's house.